Hello guys, today we are recreating one of my very old speed builds because about 10 decades ago, I used to make houses. I still do that. Anyway, make sure to check out my Halloween costumes. I know when this video comes out, Halloween will be in 2 days, but that's 2 days to buy costumes, so you should buy one. Okay, that's all. Before I was a commentary YouTuber, years ago, which is very scary to say, I used to be a Bloxburg speed builder, and I mean, I still kind of am. I have a second channel where I post speed builds, but I haven't posted one in like a hot minute. So if you're an OG that used to watch my speed builds, thank you for supporting me. Thanks for sticking around. So before I was a speed builder, I used to watch other people's speed builds, and I used to rebuild them as well. So today we're gonna go through the struggle, and I'm gonna watch one of my old speed builds, and we are going to follow it. So a very long time ago, Annex stole my build, and the thing was, I was gonna build this house for this video because my Blush townhouse is kind of a staple for my brand. Blush Mansion. I was gonna build my Blush Mansion, but that video is so long. So we're going to do one of my second favorite houses, which is from 3 years ago, my modern beach house. This is when I had an intro. Oh, so this is what the house looks like. It's a modern house. The color scheme is so fun. I have 2 monitors now, which is the best thing ever. When I actually followed speed builds, I had 1 monitor. I'd have to keep my thing windowed, and then I'd be like, YouTube, Roblox, YouTube, Roblox. And that is so frustrating. It gives me literally a headache. It's like whiplash for your screen. Thankfully, I have 2 monitors, but I'm still gonna move the screen so you can see what I'm doing. We're going to start with the very beginning, which is me drawing the layout. I can't tell if I sped this up, but you know what the funny thing is, right? I always see comments, they're like, you're going too fast. French roses, you're going too fast. Guys, there is a setting where you can slow down the video. So that is not an excuse to not rebuild a speed build. This video isn't really sped up, so it's actually really easy to follow. I'm going very slow. I remember when I was probably in like the peak of my speed building obsession, I was in high school. What I would do is I would have my mom pick me up early from school so I can get home. This way I can work on speed builds and work on videos, because in school the only thing I thought of was just, what's my next video gonna be? What's my next speed build gonna be? That's all that went through my mind. I had a very unhealthy obsession. I feel like sometimes I learn more from YouTube than I do from school. But yeah, I did that a lot. I would go to my first 3 classes, which were math, English, and science, which are basically the core subjects of high school because they just put so many random filler electives. So once I got those done, I was like, I don't need to be here anymore. I want to go home. This is when we actually use pillars on the ends of builds because there wasn't really wall trim, and this was before basic shapes and structural existed. If you've seen that meme where it's like, this was Coachella 2016, that's literally what this is to me. Bro, I just deleted the pillars that I just placed, so now we're putting thicker pillars. Bro just wasted my time. Dude, I need to yell at myself from the future and be like, don't delete anything, because that's so frustrating. I understand the struggle, guys. I saw a TikTok and it was like, why do these speed builders never cut the parts where they change something? And I understand your frustration. Trust me, I understand. I apologize for any grief I've caused. Hear me out, guys. Hear me out. Like, let me defend myself. Speed build footage is like 3 hours long, and to go through all of that just to cut a 1-second thing where you don't even know where it is because it's not like you're speaking during it. It's just dead silent when you're recording a speed build, and then you probably have music in the background. For me, to just go through all that just to find a little clip and delete it, it's kind of like not lazy, but I just don't want to. Please understand. Don't hate me. Oh, this is interesting. So we didn't have structural at the time, so we would use these border lights to frame doors. I swear no one uses these lights anymore. These were the fairy tale string lights of 2018. I've noticed how out of order I go when I build. I started with the walls, then I did this door, then I did a door detail, and then I went upstairs, and then I started doing this, and then I started doing this random fence wall, and now I'm back to actually finishing the house's actual wall. I can't explain it. I guess I just go off topic a lot. I mean, just look at my videos, dude. I talk about the most random stuff. Half of my videos, I don't even talk about the build at all. Talking about the build is boring. Who are we, Annex? Who are we, Isaac? These bushes are so ugly compared to what we have now. The tree, excuse me, the tree is going through the line. Oh, now I remember this part. This is when I put a staircase that leads to absolutely nothing. I don't know why I did that. I'm pretty sure I just did it for the aesthetic purpose. Okay, she's a build hacker. She's putting 2 staircases together. For some reason, we are choosing not to match the wood stair color with the actual floor color. We have these modern glass fences over the stairs, and then we use a completely different fence to go with it. Very interesting decisions. Okay. Oh yeah, we didn't have this one at the time. Okay, I guess I'll let myself slide. I used to do this so much. I did a smaller, thicker lining fence thing. I don't know what it's called, just to make it more connected. I don't know why I did that. Before we got wall trim, I would use this all around. I would do this as the wall trim for the house. We didn't have this stuff. That was our version of realistic building. We felt so smart for doing that. Dude, what is this design? It's just, it goes straight through the build, then we have 2 gaps here. Anyway, we're gonna go off topic for a bit because I have some news, guys. Last year for Halloween, okay, wait, let me rewind first. When you're in college, no one actually celebrates Halloween the day of Halloween anymore. It's kind of where you go out on the weekend and you either go to a party or you go clubbing or you do something random, but you don't go trick-or-treating. So you'll go to one on a certain day and then you'll go to one on another day. Here's the thing, right? You can't wear the same costume twice because you'll probably see the same people. It's just like an unwritten rule where you can't wear the same costume twice. So you need 2 costumes or 3 or however many places you go. So this year I bought 1 costume because costumes are freaking expensive, dude. Well, I have expensive taste a little bit, but that's besides the point. I got a costume and I'm happy with it. I'll probably show it to you guys on Instagram or TikTok, one of those things. So last year I didn't end up going out anywhere because my friend and I, we were planning to go to a house party, but then it never happened because I don't know why it didn't happen. So no one ended up seeing my costume. And this year somehow I didn't even think I needed 1 costume because I didn't even think I was gonna have plans because I'm a homebody, okay? But apparently now I have 2 things to go to. So this came in clutch because I didn't wear my costume out last year. So I'm gonna wear it out this year. Very useless information, but I thought I would just let you guys know that. We are at the 12-minute mark. We're getting to almost halfway there. Actually, no, 37 minutes, 12. Okay, definitely not. Man, following Speedbuilds is so peaceful. When I used to follow them, it was just so nice watching the house come together because typically you watch the tour of the house and you see what's gonna happen. But then when you actually place the item down, you're like, this is so nice. I get to watch it come together and I'm getting close to finishing. And then when I finish, I'm like, okay, what's my next build gonna be? This is crazy. I made every single wall in this house ghost gray. I used to do this so much. I would just make the entire house 1 color and just stick with it the entire time. There's nothing wrong with that, but now I use so many different accent walls. For example, if this color is this ghost gray color, then usually I do an offsetting color like that, and then I'll make this so it's every other. But at this time, I was just using ghost gray for everything. Does anyone remember the very first starter home? I have such vivid memories of being in it. I literally deleted it and made a pool. Don't know why. It's because when I spawned into Bloxburg first day on, I saw a guy had a house with an indoor pool. I was just thinking to myself, I want one. So without thinking of the money and how much it's gonna cost, I just deleted my plot and then I was poor. Who let me do this? The stairs is literally going through the door. Who let me do that? Oh my god. No one uses these plants anymore. I forgot they existed. Oh my god. This entire video is just me reminiscing on all the old Bloxburg items that no one uses anymore because of the structural items. I've literally never seen anyone use this plant to this day anymore. Everyone just uses that decal plant sort of thing where they use structural and then they color the decal. It does look way better than this. We've completed the foundation of the house. I think we're moving on to decorating the kitchen. This kitchen was such a strange concept too because I put couches in the kitchen. It was supposed to be a sitting area, but then the kitchen's attached to it. It was my way of thinking outside the box. Oh, she froze. I was definitely looking at my other monitor there to see the picture because I always take pictures of the build and then I follow it. Oh, we're putting 2 tables together. Build hack, I suppose. At the time, I was obsessed with this texture. I literally used it for everything. Using a placemat. I honestly forgot these existed. I should probably use them more in my builds. Oh, okay, we have a vase hack there. We're gonna put flowers in there. The famous Flex Freeze fridge. I refuse to use the cheap fridge. It just doesn't look as good as the Flex Freeze. It's worth spending the money, but I always literally never use the regular $500 fridge in my builds. I was attempting to be very crafty here. I used this storage dresser as an extension of the counter just because I didn't want a full wall of counters just all the same length. I don't know, it just added a little bit of differentiation. I think it still looks cute. A little unfunctional. Back at it again with the border lights. It just makes the wall trim and then the ends of the sink very cohesive together, so props to me for doing that. Good job, Noelle. Oh my gosh, I remember doing this. And this is such a cute concept because it just reminds me of a bakery when you put the little storage glass display case on a shelf. Oh, this reminds me, I need to do this in my future builds because I remember loving this and I don't know why I stopped doing it. Okay, so see this string light? This is the same one that I'm using, but there's 4 versus this one has 7. Did they change that? Because that's not how it used to look. What? I have never realized that, but I think they did change it. They also changed this! This old Roblox decal, it's now this. Bloxburg lore is thickening. They changed this too! Ah, whoa girl. It appears we are doing some interesting design. I don't remember doing this. Wait, I'm pretty sure I put a cup on here. That's all I remember. Oh my god, I did put a cup on there. Oh, they also did redo the mugs. I know that for sure because these are what the mugs used to look like. Here's how they look now, and inside the mugs there's a smiley face. I discovered that when I was doing my one build challenge video. Once again, we are putting picture frames in places that are colliding with the stairs. Okay, so I'm using the same exact colors I have here, right? So this is how it glows in this room, but when I use it in here, it looks so much different. The lighting is more yellow. Why did I use such a tiny carpet for this room? The chair is bigger than the carpet, and this is the centerpiece. It's so tiny. I have no idea what I'm doing here. I'm stacking these placemats, but I'm doing it in such a chaotic way. What is going on there? What is she doing? Just look at the difference, right? So here's it glowing in this picture. This is what it looks like on my screen. Wait. So we weren't able to paint this light color here, but now you're able to change the color, and it glows. It actually has a glare. We're putting the paper towel holder above the toilet on top of the decal. Why is there a towel above a picture frame? The way this is just casually colliding with the stairs, and I just look away. We pretend that doesn't exist. This bathroom was so low effort. Whenever I put a wall splitting a very tiny 2x2 room, this is when I know it's just low effort, and I just didn't want to do it anymore. I think at this point it was a Friday and I have to get the video out by Saturday, so I was like, I need to hurry up planning this. I literally always just put the one wall split for a super easy bathroom because I just didn't have time to think of anything else. That was the main issue with weekly uploading as a speed builder, because there's so much stuff that you have to do. Well, I kind of put it on myself though. I wanted to make sure that I did weekly, so I would always build it first, as you guys know, and then delete it. But man, the stress was crazy. Usually by the time I got to the upstairs, I would just give up. I was like, yeah, I'm kind of done with this build now. This is the funny part. This is where the bed collides into the window. Oh, I remember this. So there was this trick going around that was pretty popular on Instagram and Twitter at the time, and you'd basically stick a table underneath the bed, so then you could place books and stuff on top of the bed as like a build hack. I thought that was the most revolutionary build hack there was, and I would do this for so many of my builds. I think I did this in my cherry blossom mansion house as well. We're getting even more low effort here. We are putting just a chair and a TV and copying things from the first floor that don't really match a bedroom just because I was done. She was in fact clocked out. So here's how the build turns out after you obviously add all the other stuff. In the speed build, I realized that I didn't add the flowers or any of the extra stuff. This was all additional things that I added. I always, after the speed builds were done, I would add this fencing and then extra gardening just to close off the build. And I did end up adding some weird backyard. This is how the house turns out. It's so cute. It's such a simple speed build where it's not difficult at all. Everything that you see in the speed build is just placing items. You don't have to resize or do any of that stuff you have to do now to obviously make your build look more advanced. Oh, so I guess it's a lot easier to rebuild. It took me about 2 hours-ish to rebuild it, but also I was commentating and recording, so that's definitely added time. So it doesn't take long at all to rebuild. The speed build's 39 minutes or so. I think the speed build was in 1x speed. It wasn't even fast. Here's the build hack, just the low effort bedrooms. There was nothing going on up here. It was so empty. This entire wall was just empty. I was so done. No matter how simple this build is, it's so cute though. The color scheme, I think that's the carrying factor of this build. The beachy vibe. I really want to use this color scheme again. It's so cute. A lot of my speed builds are really easy to rebuild. I don't think it was hard. If you're considering building a house, even though these are a little outdated, they're from years before updates, they're still really cute, and then you can elevate them with the new update items. So make sure you check them out. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you liked watching me rebuild my own speed build, and I will see you next week.
You know you love me. XOXO.
French Roses Girl.